Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm Burroughs. I'm the interim president, the vision of the founders. So it's an honor for us to have you. It's an honor for us to be hosting this critically important conversation on barriers and access to immigration. Just a couple of housekeeping remarks before we get started. And the first is that we would ask that you all turn off your cell phones, or at least put them on mute so the rest of us don't need to hear when you're being called. Our bathrooms are on the second floor. Either go up the stairs, or those who need an elevator, there's an elevator access from the ground floor. Emergency access, stage door left. And then the other thing that I wanted to just mention was that in your information packets, in your that you got when you registered, there are cards in there for you, and what we're going to do during the panels is that we're going to be asking you to, any questions that you might have of the panelists, that you write those questions on the cards and they will be handed to the moderators. In that way we can also ensure that the people that are with us on live stream have the opportunity to participate fully in the conversation as well. So there are many reasons why it's important for us to be having this conversation now, and there are many reasons why it's important for us to be having it here. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the museum, our mission is very, very explicitly to promote the understanding and appreciation of America's ethnic and cultural diversity by sharing the Japanese-American experience. And we share the story because we believe in the diversity of this nation. We believe that there is great importance in remembering our history so that we can stand guard against the prejudice that threatens liberty and equality in any democratic society, and this country is no different. So it's fitting that we're having this conversation here today at the museum. The people in this room may well know this history, but for the people who are listening in, on this site, at the corner of First and Central in 1942, Los Angeles' Japanese-American community was loaded onto buses en route to the detention center at Santa Anita Racetrack, and from there they were taken to the concentration camps across the country. They joined 120,000 people who were incarcerated simply because they looked like the enemy and simply because they were considered to be enemy aliens. What many people don't know is that also in 1942, there was a national registry that was created for aliens who were from Italy, Germany, and people of Japanese origin. So that national registry was what paved the way for the incarceration of Japanese Americans. It was that climate of prejudice and hysteria that fueled that national registry in 1942. And it was that same climate that fueled Executive Order 9066, the enabling order signed by President Roosevelt that issued the instructions to all persons of Japanese ancestry, telling them where and when to report and what they could carry with them as they were sent to the camps. We saw then, as we're seeing now, how easily a climate of hatred and fear can be created, how easily rhetoric can normalize division and exclusion, and how easily that same rhetoric can drive acceptance and permissiveness. We know how this tragic chapter in America's history is being cited now as a precedent for action against Muslim Americans, and the explicit linking of a call for a national registry for Muslim Americans and internment camps shows that we've not learnt the lessons of history. It was unlawful in 1942, and what is being proposed by surrogates and advisors to President-elect Trump is unlawful now. So, given the events of the last week, there's little doubt that the access to immigration will be further restricted and that the barriers will be strengthened. I know that our conversation today will bring rich and robust challenges and insights, and I hope that we will leave here inspired and challenged to stand together to make sure that those democratic rights are not eroded.